Hello everyone, this is Todd and I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna take a look at Grubby against Sting, a PvT played during the IEM Singapore. I think this is the third game after Grubby was down 0-2, and this is a pretty short game where we're gonna take a look into how to adapt to the map and use some nice tricks depending on the situation you're in during the game. Let's jump into the game. So Grubby, the previous map just right before playing Cloud Kingdom was, I believe, on Antigua, and he tried to use Blink, a couple Blink Stalkers with an expansion, but Sting just countered it really well. I think Antigua and Cloud Kingdom are the two best maps for Blink just because of this space here and here. You can just blink inside the main of your opponent and get out very safely, and if your opponent has his army in his main, you can just go here at the expansion and attack. And same thing goes for Antigua. There is a lot of cliffs to play with. I think we had a 13 gates and a 15 gas. Grubby scouting just right after his gate, which is perfectly fine on two players map. And very interestingly, you can see he's shifted right click at the bottom of the ramp and then here. This is because if you just click here first, without clicking here first, and there is a complete wall off at the ramp of your opponent, the probe usually will turn around here, sometimes it will go back a bit. It might do some really dumb moves, so you can just avoid that just by doing what Grubby did here, right clicking here and then shifting inside of the main of the turn. So first really nice trick here. Third chrono boost being used on the Nexus. And there is a complete wall off going up for Sting, so Grubby cannot know from here whether there is a gas or not. I'm gonna hide the production tab so we don't have any spoilers. Cybernetic score going down, and we're gonna have a Zealot, I believe. Yes, we do have a Zealot. This probe is not going to overextend its stay at the ramp of Sting. Just gonna kinda hang around, and second gas going up for Grubby here. So he did cancel his Zealot just to make a second gas, so he kinda changed his mind up in the midst of all this. He's gonna put a lot of probes on this second gas immediately, and I think he just wanted to fake that he was making a Zealot as the SCV walked in, so he made a Zealot, but then as soon as his core finished, he cancelled and made a Stalker real quick, just trying to fool his opponent here. And okay, we have the probe trying to see a little bit more. This Marine actually kinda ignoring it for some time here. And third pylon here in the corner, so Grubby's kind of already decided where he's gonna be putting down his buildings or his tech, which is going to be here. This is a very well protected area, I guess, from a potential scan. Usually when Terrans scan, they will scan here so that they can see the expansion and the production facilities here. So if that were the case for Sting, I don't think he will be able to see that, and the surprise effect always very important in StarCraft. This Stalker gonna do a whole bunch of scouting. Grubby did see a couple Marines, but he doesn't know still if there is a gas. He has seen no command center, so there could be a potential proxy somewhere on the map. So he scouted all around here and here, which is very common positions for proxies. Now his Stalker is going to be able to get some vision here, and he knows for sure there is no command center made at the expansion for now. He's going to throw down a Robo. You don't want to die to Banshees or whatever. Chrono boosting his Blink very well, and now look, I'm putting this on Grubby's camera. He's trying to figure out what Sting saw, and I think now he's going to be able to realize that Sting saw his entire main, but probably not the Twilight Council. I will come back a bit with Sting's view. That is right when Sting scanned, as his orbital command finishes. Yeah, okay, so I think Grubby kind of figured out that Sting had already seen 3 gates and 1 Robo, And he had a lot of probes. Usually when you go for Blink Stalker, you will only have 16, unless, I guess he could have a 16 if he had already transferred. But the thing is, Sting scanned really high here, and he didn't see if there was an expo or not. So I think he might not know how to think from here. Like, he might not be sure exactly what he's facing. All he knows is that there was 2 gases very early, but he's not really scouted Grubby's units. He hasn't seen any sentries, so he should not really be able to know what's coming his way here. So I'm gonna head back to Grubby's vision. 3 gates on the way. 2 additional gates lining up pretty well with his warp gate. And yeah, Grubby is going to be able to see this orbital command flying to his expansion, a whole couple of Marines. So now he knows that there was a very quick command center made here, and most likely a lot of the time here it's going to be 3 racks behind this, with maybe a quick tech to medivac, or 2 racks and 1 factory. It could actually be a Banshee as well still, but it will be perfectly fine for Grubby because he's getting a server and he's going to have a lot of Blink Stalkers. So he's starting to gather a whole couple of Stalkers in this area. He's going to throw down a proxy pylon, very usual place as well to throw it down. I think I would have liked to see a force gate here, but maybe that will be committing a bit too much. And Grubby with some very nice watchtower control here. Those Marines are going to be out of position. They're going to be able to snipe this pylon, but now they are locked out against these Stalkers. And Grubby is just going to throw down another pylon. Should be very careful here. Very nice target fire here by Sting. Killing off, or making this pylon cancel again. And Grubby's, just got rid of a lot of Marines. This was very fortunate for him, and now he's going to try to be the aggressor and try to snipe a whole bunch of units. He does blink in the main. I think Sting at this time, he wasn't sure whether there was going to be an observer on time, but he was kind of guessing, so he must have been around here before he came here to clean or make the Stalkers leave. And Grubby now is going to try to keep the pressure up. He started an expansion. That's why he only went for 3 gates. He only made this build as a pressure to try to slow down his opponent, to try to buy himself some time, maybe to make him commit to some attack and get out of position. Scan going down for Sting, but a bit too late here, and the observer barely makes it, which is very good for Grubby. He's going to be able to snipe a whole couple of those units, target firing one more of those marauders. He has to be careful not to lose too many Stalkers here. And with some very nice micro, he gets out with most of those. Another warp in, he's going up to 11 Stalkers, and really nice blink here. Grubby realizing that those siege tanks were going to be too much if he had just let them get in position around here, so he just blinked up, knowing that he would lose a couple Stalkers, but at least if he gets those 2 tanks, there's going to be only 1 tank behind this and he can keep up with the harass. In the meantime, he's choosing to go for the Robo Bay tech path. And I think he's kind of guessing that he's behind economically, but he's going to keep on putting pressure, applying pressure here to Sting. And in the meantime, yeah, just going to take 2 Colossus. If he can slow down Sting enough, you will be able to maybe get back ahead in this game. Sniping a couple units here. So you see, this is what I was talking about earlier. You can blink a lot here into the main, come to the expansion and really force the Terran out of position. And the Terran went for tanks too, I mean, which is a pretty good counter to this kind of style, but even then he has a really hard time dealing with this right now. What can he do really? He can put a tank here, but then it would just get, Grubby would just blink here and snipe it. If you went for full bio, it would be very, very hard as well, because you would have to put 50% of his army here, 50 here. And Grubby with the very nice move here, making an additional pylon here and warping 3 zealots here. He's going to be sending those into the mineral line and just doing a 2-pronged attack, hoping his opponents misreacts. I think Grubby might have been thinking about blinking here, but then he saw there was too much, so he blinked out. The zealots, they did not get any kill, but they are going to delay a lot of mining time here. And in the meantime, we have an expansion up for Grubby. Yeah, the army being out of position here. Like I said, Grubby really wanted to blink up there before, and now he sees the opportunity. Many units are down there. Grubby is just gonna blink up, snipe a whole couple more of those SCVs. He's up to 18-20 SCV kill right now, bringing him up to 30 probes against 34 SCVs. I think he's even gonna kill some more. And in the meantime, he started making probes again. So Grubby is starting to get some kind of economic lead here. Oh, blink. He has to blink here. He's warped a couple additional zealots to tank for some time, and he's going to be able to get even more SCV kills. I think this pull was a mistake by Sting. I'm not sure that he needed it. And let's take a look. I think the aggression that Grubby has put up was really good, but now it's just about over, just because the observer was scanned and killed. There is 4 marauders, which are excellent against the stalkers. And Grubby is finally with a huge lead with 34 probes to the 25 SCVs of Sting. He killed 35 SCVs in total, so Grubby gaining a great lead from all this aggression, taking to Colossus in the meantime. He doesn't have one yet, he hasn't started range, but he's gonna have some pretty good economy. I think those stalkers, they are kinda gonna go into passive mode now. They're just gonna walk around a little bit, but supposedly they should not be able to do much more damage. Trying to get one last snipe here on the Marauder. Really nice micro by Grubby. And he does get a couple more units. He's up to 39 SCV kills. Sting with only 25 SCVs is probably realizing his only shot right now at winning will be to do something drastic, so he moves out. And I think Grubby now, he's kind of realized just by seeing those units that there's going to be a counter-attack and potentially an all-in, especially now that the orbital command is being lifted. So all he has to do right now is buy some time here and get potentially one more Colossus, maybe range. I think he's just going to try to get a couple units out of his gates too. He did counter-attack Sting in the main of Sting, and now he just had to be ready for a force field here. He got the perfect force field off. And I think Sting realizes he's never going to make it up this ramp unless he kills this, but by the time he kills this, Grubby can just sack his naturals, send the probes back into the main, and buy even more time for himself with those 2 sentries. I think he was already thinking about this. You see, he's making 2 sentries. So in the case of Sting being able to get up this ramp, I think Grubby would have just sacked his expo and held very nicely up his ramp here. And there was all the stalkers as well, ready to kill anything that comes out of those buildings. So a very nice crisis management here for Grubby, and a pretty nice game. If you guys have any feedback, as always, don't hesitate to leave it in comments. Let me know what you would like to see. Do you want to see some Heart of the Swarm replays? Tell me everything about that. This was Todd with another replay commentated. Thanks for watching.